So for this extra credit opportunity, you have got three options. You can do any one of the three, or you can do all three. The most basic one is to, and I've organized it right here in three folders. You've got tree, you can work on drawing the tree, you can work on ornaments, or you can work on the garland. So the tree, if you open this folder, you'll see right here, if you turn these off, there is a tree in the background, and the tree was originally done in black. And I've given you some examples of this x equals 2. If you turn that back on, you will see the x equals 2 line is this vertical line down here. And that's how you would write any vertical line. It's going to, vertical lines cross the x-axis, so their equations are x equals 2. This portion is restricting the range. If you, let me take this part off. So you get the entire line, x equals -2. So you don't want that entire line. You just want the part that goes from this ordered pair right here, which is 2, 1, to this ordered pair right here, which is 2, -4. You'll see that the y values are 1 and -4. So that's why I have that -4 to 1 part after it to chop all that other stuff off. So all vertical lines will look like that, x equals 2. Horizontal lines, if you turn this one back on, you'll see here's an example of a horizontal line. So every horizontal line is all of these that I'm pointing to right here. These are all examples of horizontal lines. Those are going to be equations y equals, and wherever they cross, they would cross the y-axis. And again, this last part right there is a restriction on the domain. You cut that off right there, and you just type in the equation y equals 9, and it is a line that goes has y values at 9, and it goes on forever. We don't want the entire line. We just want this part right here, the part between the x values of 5 and 7. So that's why following that y equals 9 line, we tell them that we only want the x values that are between 5 and 7, and that's why you only get a little part. Then you've got your diagonal lines. Here is this green one right here, the diagonal line, and the equation is written in slope-intercept form. If you, again, take this part off, then you get the entire line, y equals x plus 20. It has a y-intercept at 20, and it has a slope of rise 1, run 1, so the slope of 1. But we don't want the entire line. We only want the part that goes from this point right here, -515, up to this point right here. So that's why we say we want the x values from -5 to 0. And that's how you put the restrictions on there. So each one of these lines that it would take to, and here's the purple one down here, each one of these lines that it would take to trace the tree should all go in this folder that's marked tree. You can just add an expression, and it arranges it in this tree folder. If you do want to add a new line somewhere down at the bottom, you can drag it up. Be sure you see how that little gray line is added. That means that any line that I move up to there, as long as it has that little gray line, it will be inside that tree folder. This will help you more so than me, because I'm gonna be able to look at it and see if your lines are, you know, tracing my lines. I'll be able to look and see if you've got your lines written correctly really quickly. But it's good for you to keep them organized in the tree folder, so that if one pops up and it's wrong, you'll be able to look in which folder and see where the mistake is. So that's how you do. Those are all linear equations. They should be all linear equations, some vertical, some horizontal, some diagonal. That's a great review of Algebra 1. As a matter of fact, I assigned it to my Algebra 1. So that's Algebra 1 review. Algebra 2 review is here in the Garland. I used, if you close the tree, you look at the Garland right here. This is, I used a parabola. You take the restrictions off and you'll see that's a parabola that I graphed, and I just found the intersection right there of that line that's being graphed and the piece of Garland that I want, and I made my restrictions happen between the x values, negative 1.4 and 2. So on my Garland right there, I had the x values between negative 1.4 and 2, and that gave me the little Garland. So the next part, you know, it doesn't matter to me how you do it, might be this part. So your parabola, again, you want to put it so that your little gray line that little gray line lets you know that you're in your Garland folder. So you would do y equals, I'm going to start off by putting my x minus, I'll do 0. That's where I just throw any parabola up there, and then I figure out where I want to move this to. If I want to move it up, I do like plus 16. And then if I want to move it over or make it wider, I just throw these numbers in front. I like to make that a little bit wider. So wider is a decimal value. Let's go a little bit wider. Let's do the smaller the decimal, the wider that it is. So let's do 0.07. Whoops, I got 2 decimals. I didn't get it in there at all. 0.07. Okay, and now if I move it a little bit to the right, I'm trying to get a swoop that goes like down this way. A swoop. That's what I'm going for. So I'm going to move it a little bit to the right. Let's move that over 3. Oop, I went the wrong way. I want it to be plus 3. Okay, that's not bad. So now I got another piece of Garland. I don't want the whole thing, so I'm going to go from this point right here. So that's we'll say 2.2 and negative 4. We'll see what that looks like real quick. So I'm going to do brace. I said negative 4 less than x less than, and I think I said 2.2. And so there I got the little swag of my Garland going that way. And then I would just probably continue. I don't care. You get to, this is your decorations. If you want to change color so that all of your Garland is the same, here's where you change color. You click on the little gear, and let's say we make all the Garland orange, or maybe you want to make all the Garland red. I might make all the tree green. Go back up to the tree and make all of these trees green. That might be what you want to do. Now let's look at the ornaments. The ornaments are circles, and this equation for a circle is x squared plus y squared. Oh, that's interesting. I shaded it in. If you don't put, if you put the equal sign right there, you get this red ball that's not shaded. But if you put the less than in front of that equal sign, then it shades it in. You want the ball smaller, you change this number. and then moving these numbers right here, move the location of the ball. Since I made it smaller, it's no longer meeting up here, so I'll need to move this up a little bit. There, then it kind of matches. Now, you can do more of these balls if you want. Hang them in the middle of the tree, hang them on the edge of the tree, whatever you want to do. You can put them anywhere, make them any color. You make them all match if you want or not. This is up to you. It's just your, however you want to decorate it. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me anytime during class. But again, if you want to add lines in your ornament folder, just be sure you see that little gray line that connects everything in there. Don't ask me how much the extra credit is, but the more detailed it is, obviously, the more it will be worth. Okay, good luck. I hope you enjoy.